In the summer of 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, a woman stepped into the street and began to dance without music, without celebration, and without any clear reason, and she continued for hours, then days, until her body could no longer rest. Within a week, dozens of people joined her, and within a month, hundreds were moving the same way, dancing in streets and public squares, not as part of any ritual, but because their bodies continued to move even when they tried to stop. Historical records describe people collapsing from exhaustion, suffering strokes, and in some cases dying, not from violence or poison, but from prolonged physical movement their bodies could no longer sustain. This became known as the Dancing Plague of 1518. At first, it sounds impossible because people do not normally dance until death. Muscles fatigue, pain builds, and the body usually forces itself to stop long before collapse. But the body does not stop simply because it wants to. It stops when the systems responsible for control and inhibition are able to intervene. In Strasbourg, those systems failed. This was not hysteria in the sense of panic or performance, and it was not people choosing to behave strangely. Accounts describe people sweating, gasping for air, and begging for help while their bodies continued to move against their intention, with some collapsing only to resume movement when they stood again. This was not choice, but loss of inhibition. Human movement depends on balance, with the brain constantly regulating signals that initiate action and signals that suppress it, preventing endless motion under normal conditions. Pain and fatigue usually end movement, but they are fail-safes, not guarantees, and fail-safes can fail. Under extreme stress, the nervous system can enter a self-sustaining loop in which adrenaline increases muscle output, pain perception drops, and inhibitory signals weaken, allowing movement to continue past safe limits. Strasbourg at the time was under prolonged stress from famine, disease, religious pressure, and constant fear of death, while much of the population was malnourished, sleep-deprived, and chronically anxious. These are the exact conditions that destabilize the nervous system. Some have suggested ergot poisoning, a fungus that can cause convulsions. But ergot alone does not explain the coordinated, rhythmic nature of the movement, which suggests that motor control remained while regulation failed. Others describe the event as mass psychogenic illness, but this does not mean imagination-created symptoms. It means stress-overwhelmed inhibitory circuits, and once the behavior appeared, it spread through unconscious mirroring. The critical point is that once the loop began, the body could not interrupt it, because pain did not stop the movement and fatigue did not end it, as both require control signals to be acknowledged. Records describe dancers with bleeding feet, collapsed joints, and severe dehydration. Yet movement continued despite clear physical damage. This pattern is not unique to history. Modern neurology sees similar failures in seizures, stimulant overdoses, extreme stress reactions, and neurodegenerative diseases, where different causes produce the same result. Control breaks before the body does. The authorities did not understand this mechanism, and their initial response made it worse by encouraging continued movement, accelerating exhaustion, and increasing deaths. The event ended not because it was cured, but because bodies reached their physical limits. Muscles failed, organs shut down, and the loop burned itself out. What makes the dancing plague disturbing is not that it happened, but that it can happen, because the human body is governed not by will alone, but by balance. When that balance breaks, behavior can continue without consent. This was not a curse or possession, but the nervous system losing its brakes, allowing the body to move until it no longer could. The lesson is biological, not historical. Control is not guaranteed. Pain is not absolute. Stopping is not automatic. Sometimes the body does not ask. It simply keeps going.